Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, your source for Ford news update and information, including your Maverick information on a Maverick Monday here. And this week, we're going to talk about two topics, and they almost go together in a sense, because some people are trying to forecast that, hey, based on one thing, that's affecting the other model year. And so we're going to get into the details on this. So first off, we're going to talk about this recall. The recall actually, there's a recall that's going on the Mavericks right now, on the 22 to 24 model year Mavericks. And it has to do with your XL and XLT, with that infotainment system that you get with the rear view camera that comes with that. Because when you're backing up, that camera will freeze up, or even just completely freeze up on you, or delay the view on that. And this recall came out back in September 13th was the original recall on this that came out for an advance notice to the dealers. Advance notice means they give it to the dealers, so the dealers are aware of it. So if customers come in, they know what's going on, and letting them know that there's not, at that time there wasn't a fix. Well, reason this is a bigger impact now, what happened from September to now, is they have included basically almost every Maverick out there to this. Now that the recall, as it was an update as of last, this was the 22nd. So that was like last week. Anyway, I missed, I think it came out on a Friday, but I didn't cover it. The Maverick last week's video. I didn't realize this had happened. And now they've included a bigger population. Now there's 268,450 vehicles affected by this recall for 22 to 24 model year. And it actually has your build dates in here of February 3rd of 2021 through November 8th of 2024. So November 8th is the very end of production for the 24 model year. So again, this goes through that date. So anything built after that, we're talking all your 25s, won't have this recall affected by this. And something else that we noticed on all the Mavericks that I looked up is, if it has a Sync 3 system, that camera isn't affected by this recall either. So it looks like all your XL and XLTs with that infotainment camera system that came with it, the 8-inch screen, is affected by this recall. And so 268,000. So we looked. We have 90 Mavericks that can't be sold right now. This is a stop sale. It is a do not demonstrate. So the news in here says, do not demonstrate or deliver any in-stock vehicles involved in the safety recall. We pulled every single one of ours, and every XL and every XLT is in this recall. They don't have a fix on this recall yet, so that's a problem. Ford knows it's a problem. They're in it. I can tell you that the Maverick brand team is not real happy. They know that's a huge part of their sales. We have one Maverick we can sell, one Lariat Maverick we can sell. All the others can't be sold, and so they know that. They know that, hey, this is gonna hurt the production numbers. They don't want that. They want to end the year positively. They want to get a bunch of sales in the year, and it's not going to happen as long as this recall's out there, because we can't even, we took them off our website because we can't sell them. We can't demonstrate them. We can't do paperwork on them at all with this recall. So this recall has to do with the frozen camera display image while you're in reverse. I've had this happen to me. We pull in all the Mavericks in and we picture them in our picture building. And I've done my fair share of pictures of Mavericks. And I can tell you, as you're backing up, go slow, because that camera will sometimes just freeze. And then all of a sudden, wait a minute, that was the image I had just a second ago. And then you might hit somebody, right? So especially some of these vehicles, they don't have a rear sensor. So that camera is what some people are relying on. Of course, you should always rely on your exterior mirrors. That's what those are for. You should be using those anyway, and when you're backing up, but you should also be backing up slow. So those that do have a 22 to 24 XL or XLT Maverick, I say, for one, don't trust your camera. Just know that you just need to be watching your area as you're backing up. Be very cautious that camera could freeze up on you and stop. And that's part of this recall. There's not a fix yet. They are telling me, though, when there is a fix, that it's going to be a software fix, and it should not take long. Once they figure it out, what the code or whatever they need to do, they'll get the instructions to dealers and they'll do that. But this recall update, they call it supplement number 1, is still an advanced dealer notice in here, but it is going out on social media and everything else. And this is why we can't sell Mavericks right now. But some people are in the understanding that this could be why the 2025s are being delayed. That is not true. These are two separate things, and I want to talk about the other, about 25 production here as well. And that is, for one, the 25 model year does not have the same camera system. This camera system with this recall has to do with that infotainment system for the XL and XLTs. Not even Sync 3 doesn't get affected by this camera issues, which also means those with the Sync 4, the 25 model years, will not be affected either. Or else you'd see this being an issue with their Escapes right now that has the exact same screen. It was what you're going to find in the 25 model year Maverick. There are a lot of people that are produced, their vehicle's been produced, and they're like, why is it not, why am I not getting any update? It still says it's in production. Does it take 2 weeks to produce these vehicles? No, it does not. So the vehicles get produced in about a day. And I can tell you, because I knew this was happening. In fact, I think right now is a good time. I want to go back. Let's go back in time. We did a special live stream when the order banks opened up, or actually not when the order banks opened up, but when we had the order guides available and I was allowed to talk about it. We did a special live stream. We even brought in Dave Boyd from All Terrain Nation to talk about what he saw as a part of media on the Maverick and what he thought of the new 25 Maverick. And we took your questions live, including one of the questions that says, will it take 6 months to get a delivery of a 25 model year Maverick? And so I'm going to play this clip of my response to that and letting you know that this is August 31st, I told you there was going to be a 6-month or a 6-week delay for quality checks, just like they did on the Escape and the Super Duty, and they were planning to do the Bronco Sport and Maverick as well. So let's play that clip. So because of that, you got a 3-month window.
But you're also looking at those refresh models like Super Duty, Expedition. Yeah. They're all being held up for so long before they start sending the new models out.
Yeah.
Are we going to see that with Maverick? I think is what the question is.
Yeah.
Like a quality control hold.
The very earliest Maverick you probably seen a lot of. I'm predicting January, because if they're going to start production mid-November, so even if they could ship out right away, you'd maybe see one in December. But they're probably, I mean, he said they're going to hold them all up because they don't want all these recalls anymore.
Yeah, I would expect a minimum 6-week holdup.
Yeah, so you're probably looking January, maybe even February. So as you can see, back then, I let you guys know this was going to be a delay. So some of you maybe didn't pay attention, didn't follow our channel at that time. Hopefully this video is finding you that you're able to watch this and know that, hey, when it comes to Maverick information, this is the place to watch and give you that information. And I've said that all along. I said January would be probably the first time you'll see a 2025 model year Maverick, because they are going to hold those up for those quality checks. And because of that, we're probably not going to see them being released until sometime in December. And it takes about, unless you're in Arizona, some place like that, you're going to expect about 2 to 4 weeks from when that's shipped out to the point of when it actually shows up to your dealership. So figure that. So still has not been shipped out. I checked all of our orders just last night, and all of them are still in a quality check hold. So they'll say in production because they're produced, but they haven't been shipped out, means they're not in transit. They will go from that in production status, which has a lot of substatuses under, including going to trim level, going to the mod center, returning from the mod center, being released, being produced, all those different substatuses that happens during the production of your vehicle, to the point where when it's actually released from the plant to be handed over to the transport company to be shipped out, that's when it switches over to in transit. So until your vehicle says in transit, it's going to stay in that in production status, even though it's already been produced. So it's waiting on the quality hold. Some people aren't liking this. I don't, whether you like it or not, it's just the facts of what's going on here. And I'll tell you, by looking at the Escape and looking at the Super Duty, they had a lot less recall issues. We haven't hardly seen any recalls on the 25, on the, what was it, 23 when they did it. We haven't seen a lot of recalls because they had some issues with their camera system, which is the same camera system you're getting in the Maverick back then, and they wanted to fix it before they shipped them out. So that way you don't have to go back to the dealership or have the vehicle delivered to the dealer and sit on a dealer lot. Like we have 90 Mavericks sitting on our lot right now. We can't sell any of them. So even if your Maverick came in, they wouldn't be able to sell it if they find out about this recall after it leaves the factory. So if they can figure out and make sure everything's good, there's no issues, there's no flaws after producing a certain number of these, then they can go, okay, we're good. I believe the quality is there. Let's go ahead and ship these out. That's just going to be better off down the road. We don't have all these recalls because, you know, all these different people out there, media and everything else, if you have a recall, they're going to really, get on you. They're going to say, well, Ford's have another recall. Ford's have another recall. But if they can stop from having these vehicles done, they'll do that. So you're going to see this. Any redesign. Some people said, okay, it's not a redesign. Any refresh of a model year. You got a new bumper. You got a new grille. You got a whole new infotainment system on this. 2 new screens that are on this. There are a lot of changes to this, and they need to make sure it's quality and it's right before they're going to ship it out. So that's what's going to happen. So again, we kind of knew this was going to happen. About a 6-week hold on this. Jim Farley mentioned it as well back this last summer. And I told you as well back July 31st that this was going to happen. So just be patient, be checking that. At least now we do have the EPA done. That is a separate issue from the quality hold. The EPA was window stickers couldn't be generated until EPA had given their last A-OK on those Mavericks for your EcoBoost and your hybrid fuel economy. And so now the window stickers, you can see people have been able to get their window stickers. That is a separate thing from the quality hold. Just because you see your window sticker doesn't mean it's going to be shipped out next. It still needs to take that quality hold. So I still think we got a couple more weeks for that. And then hopefully they get shipped out mid-December. And some of those people down on the East Coast might get theirs, as a Christmas present or before New Year's, right? But most everybody, I think, will probably see theirs in January. So hopefully that helps you out. Gives them information, lets you know, hey, what's going on and not, and hopefully answer some questions, because a lot of your dealers don't know this information. Because I'm in really good contact with the brand team and the brand manager, I'm able to get some of these questions for you guys, which is why I say this is the channel you need to watch. If you want to stay updated on Ford news, update, and information, we're going to always be on the top of the things, making sure we have all the updated information for you guys and giving you guys a good explanation in a timely manner. I'm always maybe not the first to put that out there, but I'm going to be the most accurate and the earliest with the most accurate information out there of anybody else. So hopefully make sure you're subscribed with that bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of these videos. And we're going to just be a little patient, folks. You can't buy a 24 and you can't buy a 25 right now. Ooh. Just be patient. If you want a Lariat, though, you probably find a good deal on one, because dealerships would probably want to get some of those. We have one available. So if you want one of those and a 24 model year, you can probably find one of those. You're in clearance out down here. But other than that, hopefully you're having a great Cyber Monday and a Maverick Monday and a beautiful one. Hopefully you are well on this. Until the next video, stay positive. Be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. And we'll see you on the next video.